What you cling to is what hurts you. A wave rises from the ocean and believes it is separate. It forgets that it is water, that it has never been anything else. So it fears the wind. It fears the shore. It fears the end. But the ocean does not fear. The ocean remains. So it is with the awakened mind. The self that you defend is an echo, a name whispered in impermanence. It seeks to endure, to be right, to be praised, and in that struggle you lose your peace. You forget the space in which all names arise and pass. You forget the stillness that has never left you. The mirror does not suffer from what it reflects. And yet you suffer from thoughts that are not you. You mistake them for identity. You wear each one like a mask, forgetting you were never the mask. You are the stillness, watching not the story playing out. A leaf falls, a cloud moves, your thoughts change, your emotions rise, the breath shifts. And you, who are you, if not these things? Look closely. The one who observes is untouched. The one who sees is never seen. In that silence, truth begins. You do not become free by fighting the world. You become free by not being bound to it. The wind may howl, but it cannot move the mountain rooted in presence. When the mind stops chasing and resisting, what remains is unshakable. Peace is not something you achieve. It is something you remember. It is what is left when all else is let go. When craving no longer pulls and fear no longer pushes, you begin to return to what has always been awareness, silent and complete. Do not ask how to never be disturbed. Ask instead, who is it that is disturbed? Trace that discomfort back to its origin. You will find a thought, a belief, a resistance. Then go further. Who is believing that thought? Who is resisting? What you will find is nothing. And that nothing is the most liberating truth of all. You do not have to control the mind. You only have to stop being deceived by it. Let it speak. Let it spin. But do not obey. Watch it like a river. Be the riverbank, not the current. Be the sky, not the storm. Be the silence beneath the sound. One breath opens the gate. Inhale, and the world is born. Exhale, and the world dissolves. Where are your worries in that space between? Where is the one who suffers when you do not name your pain? The teachings of the Buddha are not there to build you into someone stronger. They are there to help you see there is no one to strengthen. Not self-improvement, but self-dissolution. Like mist vanishing under the sun of awareness. When someone insults you and you do not cling to self, who is there to be insulted? When something is taken from you and you do not claim ownership, what have you truly lost? To be untouchable is not to resist the world. It is to no longer take anything personally. Let the world be as it is. Let others say what they say. Let the body feel what it feels. And you remain as awareness itself. Do not armor the heart. Do not tighten the breath. Be open. Let everything pass through you like wind through an open window. It comes. It goes. You remain. There is no enemy outside you. Only reflections. Only teachers. Every irritation is a mirror. Every trigger is a bell calling you back to mindfulness. You are not here to fix the world. You are here to wake up from the illusion that you are separate from it. And in that awakening, love flows effortlessly. Compassion arises without being summoned, not because you try to be kind, but because there is no self left to defend. So sit, so breathe, so notice the sound of your breath, the feel of the floor beneath you, the silence between your thoughts. These are not empty moments. These are the doorway. Nothing can affect you when you see clearly. Nothing can disturb you when you are not holding on. And when there is no self to protect, there is peace, effortless, complete. There is a quiet place beneath all this thinking, beneath the voice that says, I must, I should, I can't, beneath the noise of ambition and fear, beneath the rush of identity. There is a space, still, vast, unborn, unshaken. You do not create it. You do not enter it. You are it. And everything that comes and goes, sensation, memory loss, desire, are simply visitors, like clouds moving across the face of the sky. They appear and vanish, and the sky remains untouched. This is the truth the Buddha saw, not in theory, not in belief, but in silence, in the direct, knowing that no thing, no thought, no feeling, no condition is me or mine. When you drop the illusion of ownership, you drop the fear of loss. When you drop the illusion of control, you drop the weight of anxiety. Nothing sticks to an open hand. Let your mind be that open. Let the pain rise. Let it teach. Let it pass. Let the joy arise. Let it shine. Let it pass. Even bliss is not to be clung to. Even spiritual states are not permanent. To hold anything is to begin suffering, but to witness is to be free. Just this breath, just this sitting, just this seeing. No past, no future, just this. Can you hear the bird beyond the window? Can you feel the heartbeat without needing to change it? This is practice, not escape, not seeking, but returning to what has never left. The mind says, I need more. Awareness says, this is enough. The mind says, I must become. Awareness whispers, there is no one to become. In this way, you become like water, clear, flowing, unresisting. Nothing can harm water. It adapts, absorbs, continues. It wears away mountains without striving. The way to become invulnerable is to become fluid. The way to stop being hurt is to stop clinging to the idea of a self that can be hurt. And so suffering becomes your teacher. It shows you where you're still holding, where you're still resisting, where you're still identifying with the fleeting. And each time you see it clearly, something softens, something releases, like a hand unclenching, like a breath let go, like light entering a locked room. You will not need to defend anything once you realize there is nothing to defend. The body will age. Let it. The world will change. Let it. People will misunderstand you. Let them. That which is real in you is not disturbed by any of it. It watches. It remains. Even when your thoughts scream for reaction. Even when your body burns with sensation. There is a place within you, silent and serene, that has never been harmed, never been afraid, never been confused. It waits, patiently, for you to turn and recognize it. This is not new. It is ancient. It is not found. It is remembered. It is not added. It is uncovered, like the moon behind clouds, like the sky after the storm. No method leads to it, but silence reveals it. No effort earns it, but letting go returns you to it. You do not need to believe this. You only need to look directly, honestly, gently. And what you will find is what cannot be found. Not because it's missing, but because it was never separate. Do not chase stillness. That is noise. Do not demand peace. That is war. Instead, pause. Let this moment be exactly as it is. Let your mind rest, not forced, not fixed, but like a bird settling on a quiet branch. Let the truth speak not in words, but in presence. The world may rage, but the ocean beneath remains unmoved. There is a moment before the next thought, a space between the sounds, a breath before the next breath. In that space, there is no problem, no self, no effort, only presence, and presence is untouched. You do not need to solve your life. You only need to be present for it. The tree does not solve the wind. It bends, it sways, it sings. And when the wind passes, it is still a tree, still rooted, still whole. When you no longer fight with life, you return to your true form, open, empty, luminous. Not a being trapped in a story, but awareness witnessing it all. Ask not how to stop the chaos. Ask how to remain unmoved within it. Ask not how to silence the mind. Ask how to listen without attachment. The Buddha did not promise that suffering would vanish. He showed the way to meet it without fear. He pointed to a truth that exists even when the world burns. The mind that does not cling is free, even in fire. Pain is real, but suffering is optional. You will feel loss, but you need not be lost. You will feel emotion, but you need not drown in it. A lotus blooms from mud, not despite it. So too your peace is not in the absence of disturbance, but in your relationship with it. Do you resist, or do you observe? Do you fight, or do you see? And when you truly see, suffering becomes the gate. The ego will resist this. It wants to be right. It wants to control. It wants to exist. But truth does not serve the ego. Truth dissolves it, like salt in water, like shadow in sunlight. And so you may feel grief. You may feel fear, not because something is wrong, but because something is falling away. The illusion of control, the illusion of permanence, the illusion of self. Let them fall. Let the tower crumble. You will not be buried. You will be revealed. Each time you let go, you come closer to your original nature. Each time you release an identity, a judgment, a craving, you return to that which has no name and needs none. The sound of wind through pine trees, the flicker of candlelight on stone, the way silence feels in the center of the chest. These are the Dharma too. The sutras are not only in books, they are written in breath, in stillness, in impermanence. Every falling leaf carries a teaching. Every ending whispers, let go. And so when someone wounds, you pause. When plans collapse, pause. When your mind screams for certainty, pause. And in that pause, ask who is it that is disturbed. You may look and find no one, just sensation, just thought, just awareness, spacious and unbothered. You begin to see the truth nothing can affect you unless you believe it must. You begin to see freedom is not outside. It is a clarity inside. You begin to live not as a self with preferences and fears, but as presence itself, dancing as this life. The ancient masters did not tell you to become stronger. They told you to become softer, to become like water, yielding but unstoppable. What weapon can harm water? What insult can stick to silence? What loss can shake the one who owns nothing? So live without armor. Let your heart be breakable. Let your identity dissolve. Let the moment enter you fully as it is. And in doing so, you discover a strength beyond strength, a peace that is not won but uncovered, a love that is not sentimental but boundless. Even now, as you read this, you are not the reader. You are the awareness in which reading happens. Even now, you are not the thinker. You are the space between thoughts. Even now, you are free. Not later, not when healed, not after effort. Now, you will search for answers. You will chase understanding. But eventually all seeking will burn itself out, not in defeat, in revelation. For what you were looking for was never hidden, never elsewhere, never after. This is it, this breath, this sound, this seeing. This is the answer that needs no words, and the one who seeks like a candle searching for fire, like a drop trying to find the ocean. The search ends when the searcher disappears. The ego is not the enemy. It is a process, a habit, a ripple on the surface of the vast lake of being. You need not destroy it. Only stop feeding it. Stop believing it is who you are. Let it speak, let it shout, but stay still. Let it crave, let it cling, but do not act. The ego is loud, but truth is quiet. It does not convince, it does not argue. It waits, like the moon behind clouds, like a mirror beneath dust. Wipe gently, and you will see. Even the act of seeking to be unaffected is itself an attachment to a state, to an ideal, to a future. Let even that go, and what remains is not you, calm and wise. What remains is no one, only presence. You will not become a perfect person. You will become no person. Just this moment living through you. When fear rises, do not push it down. Bow to it. Let it speak. Let it tremble through your body like thunder through trees. It will not break you. It will show you where you are still attached. Let the tears fall. They are sacred. Let the body shake. It is shedding old illusions. Let the world misunderstand you. It always has. Truth is not public. It is intimate. Silence is not empty. It is full. And you who you truly are is not a name, a story, a memory. You are that which remembers without needing to remember, that which exists without form, without fear, without end. In 1,000 lifetimes, you have tried to be something. Now, try being nothing, and in that nothing feel the spaciousness, feel the lightness, like a robe falling from tired shoulders, like winter melting into spring. Do not harden, soften. Do not seek to become. Let becoming fall away. You are not here to escape the world. You are here to see it clearly, and in that seeing be free. This does not mean you withdraw. It means you participate with open hands. It means you love without clinging, act without agenda, speak without deception. This is not passivity. It is power without resistance. This is not indifference. It is compassion without fear. Let go of trying to protect your peace, and peace will enter. Let go of trying to hold on to anything, and you will know freedom. Even now, life flows through you without your doing. Blood moves, cells renew, thoughts arise, breath happens. You are not the doer. You are the space in which doing appears. So rest, not in sleep, but in wakefulness, not in dullness, but in clarity. Rest in the knowing that you need not be anything other than this raw present silent. Even your imperfections are part of the perfection of this moment. Even your doubts are sacred visitors. Bow to them all. Let them teach. And when they leave, bow again. There's a still point, a quiet within the quiet, when you no longer need to know, when you no longer demand certainty, when you are not waiting for the next thing. That is home, and it was never far. You will not always feel peaceful, but you can always be present. You will not always feel love, but you can always act with compassion. Do not confuse feeling with being. Emotions pass. Presence remains. The ocean does not disappear when the waves grow wild. It is still ocean deep, vast, unshaken beneath the surface. So too your nature remains, even when anger arises, even when confusion clouds the sky, even when sorrow bends your back, you are still here as awareness. You need not change what arises. Only change your relationship to it. Witness it, let it pass, and return. Return to this moment. Return to the breath. Return to the sound of birds, the warmth of the sun, the echo of silence between words. This is the practice. This is the path. And even this is not something you must do, because truth does not depend on you. It waits, endlessly patient, like space, like stillness. Let your mind be like the mountain, unmoved by the storm, unconcerned by the clouds, rooted not in resistance, but in knowing. Nothing lasts. This is the secret blessing. No pain is eternal. No joy is final. No identity survives the turning of time. So why grip what must go? Why cling to what cannot stay? Release it, not by force, but by wisdom. The wisdom of impermanence, the truth of non-self, the compassion of letting all things be as they are without demand. There is no one to protect, no image to uphold, no control to maintain. You have done enough. You have strived enough. Now simply rest as the awareness that sees, even this voice, these words, let them pass through you like wind through a reed. Take nothing. Hold nothing. Be only the space that receives. A cup is useful because it is empty. Your freedom arises not from what you contain, but from your capacity to remain open, hollow, willing to receive and release. The bird does not keep its song. The sky does not store the stars. The awakened do not hold on to enlightenment. They live as the flow itself, and you too are that flow. The breath enters, the breath leaves, a thought comes, a thought dissolves. This is the way, soft, unstoppable, no beginning, no end. Let death remind you nothing is yours. Not the body, not the name, not even the memories you hold so dear. Let this not frighten you. Let it free you. Because if nothing is yours, then nothing can be taken. If nothing is fixed, then nothing can break you. The awakened heart walks gently in the world, not because it is fragile, but because it knows everything is sacred and nothing is permanent. This is not a reason to fear. It is a reason to love without condition. Love the moment, not because it will last, but because it will not. Be kind, not because it will be remembered, but because kindness is your nature. Be still, not because you must, but because stillness is what you return to when the noise is no longer fed. The candle does not chase darkness. It only shines. So too, you do not need to fix the world to find peace. You only need to stop resisting what is. Even suffering, yes, even that, can be met with presence. This is not passivity. It is courage. To feel without being consumed. To see without turning away. To act without attachment. This is freedom, not a state, but a way of being. There is nothing to attain, not because truth is far, but because it is already here. You do not need to climb mountains, cross oceans, or search scriptures. The one who searches is the very veil that hides what has always been. There is no future awakening. There is only this moment realized. Even the desire to awaken is a subtle form of grasping, a reaching for something more, something better. And yet, what if this is enough? What if this silence, this breath, this awareness is already it? The flame does not strive to be fire. The mirror does not strive to reflect. You are already what you seek. Not the self, but the seeing. Not the form, but the formless. And in that formlessness you are beyond harm. No insult can reach the one who holds no identity. No failure can disturb the one who expects nothing. No praise can inflate the one who needs no validation. Like space, you contain all, but are touched by none. This is not an idea. It is a living truth, waiting to be noticed. Not through intellect, through surrender. Not by doing more, but by letting go of what you are not. And what you are not is almost everything you've ever believed. Let the image fall. Let the persona fade. Let the fear arise. And let it go. The wind may roar, but it cannot uproot the mountain. Let the heart break, for it is in the breaking that it opens. Let the path disappear, for it is in getting lost that the final return happens. When you stop trying to awaken, awakening happens like a bird flying not to arrive, but because it is its nature, like a flower blooming without plan, without purpose, only the dance of conditions meeting the light. This is the truth of no self, not a theory, of freedom. Freedom from needing to be, freedom from resistance, freedom from self-definition. So live lightly, hold nothing tightly, let everything pass, including the idea of yourself as unaffected. To be untouched by the world does not mean you are numb. It means your joy is not tied to gain. Your peace is not tied to preference. Your love is not tied to approval. This is the great paradox. You become more human when you are less personal. You feel more deeply, not less. You love more freely, not conditionally. Because you are no longer afraid of loss, afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of not being enough. When you no longer protect the imagined self, you are free to live fully, like the moon reflecting on 10,000 rivers, not caught in any, yet shining in all. So let go, not to escape, but to arrive. Here, now, in the middle of everything, in the stillness that watches it all. And you will know no thing can affect you, not because you are separate from the world, but because you are not separate from anything. All things rise and fall within what you are, and what you are has no boundary, no form, no end. It is not that the world must change for you to find peace. It is that your relationship with the world must be seen clearly, and in that clarity, attachment dissolves. What changes is not the wind, but the one who stops chasing it. What shifts is not the noise, but the one who no longer tries to silence it. And so you sit, not to fix yourself, but to no longer interfere. You sit, and the breath returns to its own rhythm. You sit, and the thoughts unwind like thread no longer pulled. You sit, and the self begins to loosen, unravel, fade, not in fear, in grace. This is not annihilation. It is liberation. When you no longer need to be someone, everything becomes simple. You eat, you walk, you sleep, you listen to rain. And that is enough. There is no spiritual pride in this. There is no spiritual identity left. There is only the moment without commentary. Only life without the veil of the one who interprets. You do not need to name this. You do not need to call it enlightenment. Even that word is too heavy. Let go of even that. Let go of practice of path of progress. And what remains? This, only this, a cup of tea, the sound of your own breath, the stillness that fills the room when no one speaks. Truth does not shout. It waits. It waits in the spaces between striving. It waits in the pauses between plans. It waits when there is nothing left to do and nowhere else to be. That's why it is missed by those who are always doing, always becoming, always searching. But you are no longer searching. You are sitting. You are breathing. You are listening. And in that you have already arrived. The gate you sought was never locked. The door you pushed was never closed. You were never outside. You only dreamed you were. Like a wave dreaming it is not ocean. Like light believing it must chase itself. There is no distance between you and what you are. There is no process to reach the present. It has always been here. What you called progress was simply the gradual collapse of illusions. What you called growth was only the shedding of what was never true. There is no one left to improve. No one left to protect, no one left to defend or prove or seek. Just this, just the breath, just the breeze against your skin. And when anger comes, let it burn, but do not become it. When sadness visits, let it weep, but do not wear it like a name. When joy arrives, let it dance, but do not hold it with a closed fist. In this way you are not affected because you are not resisting, not unaffected like stone, unaffected like space, not untouched by life, untouched by clinging. This is the heart of the Dharma. This is the unspoken teaching, and it cannot be owned. It can only be lived. Even the idea of awakening, let it go. Not because it is false, but because the seeking of it becomes another veil, another self chasing an ideal, another story laid upon the moment. And yet, this moment asks for nothing. It does not need you to be wise. It does not need you to be ready. It is already whole. It is already empty. This is the paradox that cannot be taught, only lived. That to be free, you must stop trying to become free. That to know truth, you must stop clinging to knowledge. Like the hand that opens by itself when it tires of holding. Like the eye that sees more clearly when it stops straining. In the absence of effort, clarity arises. In the absence of me, awareness shines. Let the body breathe by itself. Let the world move without your management. Let the thoughts spin and settle like dust falling back to earth. And see, you are not the dust. You are the space in which it falls. You are not the thought. You are that which hears it. This is your unshakable nature, not because you are powerful, but because you no longer resist, not because you are separate, but because you are no longer divided. The wave is not free because it fights the ocean. The wave is free when it knows I am the ocean. So the path disappears. The map burns itself. The teacher bows and becomes the silence. And you, what are you now? Not an answer, not even a question, just being, just this breath, just this moment unfolding without needing a name. And the world still moves, the body still aches, the news still screams, but something in you is no longer shaken, because you are not trying to make it otherwise, because you are not arguing with reality, because you are not holding an image of how it should be. And so, you are free, in the middle of it all, like a still lake reflecting fire without burning, like a silent bell that rings without sound. Let this not be a goal. Let this be your rest. Let this be your natural state uncovered, like light behind your eyes, like peace beneath your effort, like truth beneath the story of you. You do not need to awaken. Awakening is not an event. It is the absence of what was never real. No fanfare, no fireworks, just this, a cup lifted in quiet, a gaze without tension, a breath taken without holding anything back, a silence so full it contains all sound, a stillness so deep even time pauses before entering. You have nothing to defend. You have nothing to gain. You have nothing to prove. This is not emptiness in the sense of lacking. It is emptiness like space, boundless, clear, and capable of holding everything. When you do not cling to identity, you become vast. When you do not resist experience, you become open. And in this openness, nothing can truly disturb you, not because you are numb, but because you are whole. Pain may arise, but you no longer fight it. Fear may visit, but you no longer believe its story. Loss may come, but you no longer grasp what was never yours. This is not detachment of the heart, it is freedom in the heart. A heart that does not close, a heart that knows nothing lasts. And that is why love matters. Not sentimental love, not romantic love, but the love of presence, the love of stillness, the love that arises when there is no more me and you, only this moment, seen clearly. The Bodhisattva walks the world with open eyes and an open heart, not because they are invulnerable, but because they no longer resist vulnerability. They see suffering and respond with compassion. They see ignorance and respond with clarity. They see impermanence and respond with equanimity. This is the fruit of letting go, not indifference, but boundless care. And it begins here, now, in this breath. You do not need more teaching. You do not need more becoming. You need only to notice what already is. The stillness behind your next thought, the quiet beneath your next reaction, the awareness that watches it all. This is not a trick. It is not a technique. It is your nature, always present, always here, even in distraction, even in fear, even in confusion, especially there. When you forget, awareness does not judge. It simply waits, like the earth beneath your feet, patient, unmoving, ever present. So return, gently, no shame, no striving, just return to what watches, to what hears, to what is. And when you do, the illusion of being affected begins to fall away, not because the world changes, but because your grip on it softens. You begin to see anger as energy, not enemy. You begin to see sorrow as rain, not identity. You begin to see joy as wind, beautiful, transient, not yours to hold. And in this seeing, you are no longer swept away. You remain as awareness, as openness, as the one who does not cling and therefore cannot be shaken. Even if the body trembles, even if the voice breaks, even if the world misunderstands you, you remain, not by force, but by truth, not by effort, but by clarity, like a mountain in mist, like the moon in still water, like breath dissolving into breath. To be unmoved does not mean you do not feel. It means you feel everything without clinging to anything. It means you allow life to pass through you, its pleasures, its pains, its poetry, without trying to make it stay or push it away. You are like the flute hollow through which breath becomes music. You are like the sky, spacious, in which storms arise and dissolve. There is nothing in you that needs to resist. There is nothing in you that needs to possess. What you thought you needed to hold on to was never holding you. Let it go. Let it all go. And in that letting go, see what remains. Not emptiness as void, but emptiness as capacity. Emptiness that is full of life, because it does not block the flow. Let the tears come. Let the laughter come. Let silence settle. You are the witness, not the weather. You are the open hand, not the object grasped. Even the sense of, I let that too come and go. It is only another appearance in awareness, another shape in the mirror, another word spoken by no one. Do not fear this fading. You are not losing yourself. You are remembering you were never that self to begin with. The Buddha did not transcend suffering by avoiding it. He transcended it by seeing through it, by walking into it fully, with eyes open, and discovering suffering arises because of clinging. Remove the clinging and suffering cannot hold. This is not philosophical. It is immediate. It is here. Notice it now. Where is your suffering? Trace it back. There is a want. There is an image. There is a thought of how it should be. Now, Release that thought. And what remains? The breath, the sound of birds, the quiet warmth in your chest. This is peace, not manufactured, not earned, just revealed. Revealed by absence, the absence of demand, the absence of resistance, the absence of the one who says, "This is not enough." And when that one falls silent, everything becomes enough. The chair you sit on, the light on the floor, the flicker of your eyelids. You don't need more. You only thought you did. You were never affected by the world. You were affected by your idea of what the world should be. You were never disturbed by life. You were disturbed by the belief that it should be different. But life has no such beliefs. It simply is. And when you align with that isness, not conceptually, but experientially, you are free. Free without escape, still without denial, present without resistance. And then, even this teaching can fall away. Even these words can dissolve. Even awareness is no longer needed. There is only being, only presence. Only this, eventually, even the watcher dissolves. Even awareness as something separate fades. And there is no more inside or outside. No self-observing the world. Only the world appearing, disappearing in itself. The breath breathes. The eyes see. The heart beats. But no one is doing it. No one owns it. No one is there to claim it. This is the final surrender. Not dramatic, not sudden. More like the dew evaporating in the morning sun. No farewell, just gone. And yet something remains. Not something, just this, unnameable, unshakable, already here, no longer trying to be unaffected, simply not needing to be, because there is nothing left to affect, like a mirror with no preference, like a field that grows all things, but claims none. You walk and the path walks itself. You speak and words appear without effort. You love, and there is no one loving, only love itself flowing without source. Even the idea of being spiritual disappears. Even the idea of being awake is unnecessary. There is no contrast anymore. No separation. No measurement. You have not become special. You have become ordinary. So ordinary there is no more you. Only trees swaying. Only dishes being washed. Only breath in and out. And this is enough. This is the deepest freedom, the kind that no one notices, the kind that makes no claim, the kind that leaves no mark. And yet, the world feels different, not because it changed, because the one who suffered in it is no longer grasping, no longer resisting, no longer narrating, just being, just stillness in motion. Just motion in stillness. Let others say what they will. Let the body do what it must. Let the seasons turn. You are not removed from it. You are not above it. You are simply no longer caught in it. This is not numbness. This is intimacy, the deepest kind, where even the boundary between self and other is gone, where even the need to hold the teaching disappears. You no longer carry truth. You are truth walking. You no longer speak Dharma. You are Dharma living. And even that does not matter. Even that is released, like incense turning to smoke, like the bell echo fading into silence. Nothing more to do, nowhere to go, no one to become, no resistance, no holding, only the vast, immeasurable peace of nothing being left. There is a moment when even silence feels too loud, when even the word awareness carries too much weight, when even presence becomes a concept. And so, you let go again, not of things but of ideas, not of attachments, but of identities, not of suffering but of the one who suffers, until there is no more letting go, only space, only this, a bird chirping without meaning, a shadow moving across the floor unnoticed, the taste of tea, bitter, warm, gone. Each thing comes, each thing goes, and you no longer measuring, remain still. You no longer seek balance. You no longer try to stay in the moment, because there is no you separate from the moment. This is not a trance. This is the end of trance, the end of becoming, the end of needing. Even the subtlest desire to not be affected vanishes, because what can be affected if there is no one left to be affected? Not indifference, not detachment, but the clear seeing that there was never a separate thing to defend, to hold, to fix. So you bow to no one, from no self, just the movement of humility in the body, just the expression of gratitude from nowhere. And life continues. The body aches, and you meet it. The rain falls, and you listen. The world burns, and you care not, because it is your role, but because compassion arises when resistance ends. Not effort, not discipline, just the natural unfolding of love, unbound, unpersonal, unending. Even now, as these words dissolve into the air, there is nothing to keep. Let them go. Let everything go. You do not need to hold on. You never did. The sky holds nothing, and yet contains everything. So too you, vast, empty, full, a paradox. The mind cannot hold, but the heart understands without speaking. So stop now, not to end, but to begin again, not as someone new, but as no one, as what has always been, as what was never born and can never be lost. This silence is not absence, it is your original nature. This breath is not an anchor, it is the doorway. This moment is not ordinary, it is sacred because it is untouched. And now, if nothing else is needed, then you've already arrived. There is no arrival, only the falling away of the idea that you were ever far. The path is not a road to walk. It is the disappearance of the walker. It is not that you come home. It is that you realize you never left. The gate was always open. The wall was always imagined. The seeking was the veil. The finding is the vanishing of the seeker. And now the breath moves without instruction. The body rests without tension. The heart opens without story. This is the deepest peace, not built, not earned, just revealed, as simple as the sound of a bell, as clear as morning air, as soft as the echo of a prayer, forgotten by the one who prayed. Let the Dharma flow through you, not as words, but as presence. Let compassion arise, not as a task, but as the fragrance of a heart that no longer holds back. Let clarity shine, not as certainty, but as the absence of confusion. You do not need to understand. You only need to stop misunderstanding that you were ever separate, that you were ever unworthy, that you were ever in control. The tree grows without knowing how. The stars shine without knowing why. And you are not apart from them. You are not above them. You are this too, this moment, this breath, this stillness. And when the noise returns, as it always does, you do not need to push it away. Just return, not as effort, but as remembrance, not as striving, but as recognition. This moment, this exact moment, contains all you need, not because it gives you anything, but because it takes nothing away. So rest now, not as escape, but as truth. This is what it means to be unaffected, to be so present that there is nothing left to affect, to be so open that nothing can stick, to be so silent that even I disappears into the wind, no one left, nothing lacking, nowhere else. And this is enough. This is the answer. This is the silence. You have always been here and will always be here.